Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. And this time, I'm going to go back over to KNewz, and this is in politics. I will list the article writer and all of the details in the description, as I always do. It says Epstein had Trump and Clinton tapes. Maxwell has confirmed the existence of secret videotapes of Donald Trump, filmed by her former lover and alleged trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, KNewz can reveal. She added some of the hidden tapes featured a young Bill Clinton as well. Maxwell confirms existence of secret videotapes. Years before Maxwell gushed over what a gentleman President Donald Trump was, in hopes of gaining parole from prison, she told a different story to one investigative reporter in his book Ticking Clock: Behind the Scenes at 60 Minutes. Former CBS News producer Ira Rosen wrote about how he was able to trick Maxwell into confessing there were tapes. Rosen, who had hunch that recordings existed, explained that during a conversation with Epstein's premier, he flat out challenged Maxwell to produce them. "I want the tapes," Rosen wrote. "I know Epstein was videotaping everyone." Maxwell's surprising confession. Maxwell's the daughter of famous newspaper publisher Robert Maxwell, gave Rosen a stern look and pointed her finger in his face. According to Rosen, she said, "I am the daughter of a press baron. I know the way you people think. If you do one side, you must do the other side. If you get the tapes on Trump, you have to do Clinton." Shocked, uh, shocked to suddenly hear Clinton's name mentioned as well, Rosen assured her, I will go wherever the story goes." Unfortunately for the journalist, the story did not get much further. Maxwell said Epstein never told her where the hidden alleged tapes, and she never found them. Pardon possibilities. Maxwell, who is currently serving out a 20-year sentence in a Texas prison for trafficking, is relying on now President Trump to grant her an executive pardon. During her prison sit-down with Justice Department officials, she described the president as always being very cordial and very kind to her. She always emphasized she never saw Trump in any inappropriate settings with young girls. "The president was never inappropriate with anyone. In the time that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects," Maxwell, age 63, told Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche during a two-day session at a prison in Florida. The former socialite also disputed claims Trump wrote a salacious letter to Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003, which she alleged included a bound book of other notes from his famous pals. Uh, Following Maxwell's probing by Blanche, Trump was asked if he had considered pardoning the convicted trafficker. "Well, I'm allowed to give her a pardon, but nobody's approached me with it. Nobody's asked me about it. It's in the news about that aspect of it, but right now it would be inappropriate to talk about it," the president explained at the time. Maxwell's attorney raged in early July about how unfortunate it was that his client remained behind bars after the Justice Department said there is no Epstein client list, which the madam herself confirmed to Blanche. The recent developments underscore just how absurd it is that Maxwell is still in prison. David Oscar Marcus filmed. The government says there's no Epstein client list, yet Maxwell remains locked up as the scapegoat for it. It's not right. And that is the end of the article right there. Um, you know, I mean, it's in my opinion, that's been debunked. The birthday, book was turned over to the, Congress, and there's been a whole wealth of information that has came out since then in terms of, the birthday letter, which Trump is now saying that his not his signature, but the issue with that is that we have hundreds and hundreds of references as far as his signature, including anyone that received a stimulus check. Um, when he was president back in 2017. They can use that as handwriting analysis and things like that. I don't know how people chose to do it. He wanted to send it out in paper checks. Part of in my opinion, the PR stunt, as a way to appease the people. He may have potentially, you know, hurt himself. Fast forward to 2025, where his signature is now being questioned and scrutinized. You know, hey, it is what it is. Not to mention, uh, you know, books that he signed for people, of a name of a places where he's put his signature at, autographs if he's done autographs, etc. However, going back to Maxwell, she was also not also convicted of trafficking. She was also convicted of perjury, which means she lied, she perjured herself. So she's a confirmed liar, um, you know, in every sense of the word. She will say whatever she wants, and I've always said this, and this is not based on any fact. This is just mainly my opinion that, she is the scapegoat for a lot of people. It should definitely be a lot more people in jail right along beside her. However, she is the only sole person to be locked up for the trafficking ring that was taking place. And, I could kind of assume that she would be very angry about that. She was definitely not the only person that was doing it. She was definitely not the only person that was involved. She was definitely not the only person that had intimate knowledge of the inner workings of it. But for her to be the sole person that's in jail, that would kind of piss anybody off. You know what I mean? Even though she had, a number of co-conspirators that have yet to be named. However, the thing with Clinton, I've been hearing a lot about, Republicans. Um, they love to throughout the fact, oh, Clinton, it was Clinton, it was Clinton, it wasn't, Trump and things like that. But this is the thing, it is too much information out there um, for you not to even look and be like, hey, like, okay, it was a lot of stuff going on. Like I said earlier, it was the birthday book, and then it was another thing inside the birthday book where Epstein was presented a check signed by Donald Trump. It was a novelty check, and basically it was for the sale of a depreciated, in their words, not mine, a depreciated woman, um, which is really dehumanizing, and even in a joke, as a joke, that wouldn't be, that's very, very misogynistic, very uh, distasteful, in my opinion. But it's too much stuff that is coming out and has come out. And just recently, as yesterday, Bloomberg did a blockbuster piece in terms of, all different types of emails between Maxwell and Epstein, which involved payments, not only payments to her, but payments to other people as, quote unquote, don't quote me, quote them, hush money, and hush money for some of the victims as well. Um, contacts and all sorts of sordid details. So, I don't really think, in my opinion, that Trump is going to be able to escape this. Um, at some point, it's going to be an overwhelming flow of information. Everybody's going to talk about it and things of that nature. But my personal opinion about it is that, he's a dangerous man. Um, and I don't say that because I harbor any ill will towards him. That's not the case at all. Even though he is a detestable man, in my opinion, I don't harbor any ill will towards him. However, um, there are certain people in this world that will do anything to hold on to the power that they have, even if that means breaking the Constitution, even if that means chipping away at the Constitution, chipping away at people's rights, putting people in more poverty, putting people into more debt, putting people into more sicknesses without resources to help these people. There are some people in this world that will stop at literally nothing short of, people, becoming unalived, um, or, from illness or any type of other situation that will, do that, as long as that means that they will stay in power. And I think that's the most concerning thing that everybody needs to keep in mind. This is way beyond politics. This is way beyond Democrats versus Republicans. My opinion is that if you were involved in this thing with Maxwell and Epstein and whoever else may be involved, you know, you need to be held accountable. It doesn't matter. I'm not keeping for nobody. I'm not making no exceptions for anybody. It could be anybody. Okay? You need to go to jail. You need to have your day. You need to see justice. Um, especially for the victims that are still here and surviving, and the ones that unfortunately are not here, and the ones that are in hiding, because we all, know that that's not the only, people, but hopefully they will get justice. Justice will prevail. But I don't know, you guys. Let me know what you think. Drop down in the comment section. I would definitely love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. As always, I'm so appreciative of you, watching any of my videos. So thank you so much. And with that, you guys, I'm going to head on out. But always remember, be good to yourself first.